south of Baton Rouge, along the 8 Meat River, near the old Phillips farm. There's no brick and mortar, just a boiling cauldron of human disorder. Tammy's Cafe, serving up grits with a side of murder.
Welcome, y'all.
Hey, Stump and Hannah.
Hey.
Hello, Miss Tammy.
I think we're going to be on video this time.
Come on, did you push the button?
I pushed the record button.
It's a little red light on.
All
Yeah.
right.
Greg even said, I thought maybe you were recording on another way, not through this, and I didn't want to interrupt. I said, no, please, interrupt.
Okay, I just want to say one thing.
Say it.
For the first time in my life, and I really thought I would be doing this for a long time already. But, hey, Greg, let's give kudos to the man behind the
Hell
scenes.
yes, Greg the man.
The Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Right.
How are y'all doing?
Good.
As most
Fabulous.
Good, as most of you know. Well, maybe you don't, because I might post this before I post the other one. But we tried to record last night, video record, and I forgot to push record. So
it is what
again.
it is.
here's where we are. Okay, 1911.
Oh, let's go back a ways.
I'm going to tell you some stuff that happened. Niagara Falls froze over solid.
Yikes.
Can you?
Been there.
Yeah.
Beautiful
I
place.
can't imagine it freezing
No,
completely.
no way.
Like people could walk
How?
across the.
How can that?
I don't.
The
it
water
was,
that's coming down.
It was one of the coldest winters ever.
It's gotta be.
Crisco shortening was introduced by Procter and Gamble. A whole Thanksgiving dinner. I don't mean a dinner plate. Not one. A whole Thanksgiving
For
dinner.
the family.
69 cents.
69 cents.
Potatoes, turkey, beans.
Greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, ham, yams, lamb.
And some good fresh bread,
Yes. So that same meal today would cost $59.
at least.
Well,
That's probably cheap.
They compared
Yeah.
it. They did a very frugal estimate.
That's
on it.
Piccadilly.
And a porterhouse.
I bet you that was pre-COVID. I bet you.
You mean
Yeah, it would be 159 right now.
You're probably right.
Or all the turkeys got COVID.
So
Turkey.
the porterhouse beef roast. Mm-hmm. How much a pound do you think it was in 1911?
12 cents a pound.
18 cents a pound.
Damn it.
So there's some little there wasn't really what I would call pop culture that I could find on 1911.
I would think not.
No.
I mean, they didn't have shit then.
Yeah, but what they was doing in the
That's
roaring 40s, yeah, that's what I'm
yeah.
thinking.
That's
but,
when my great grandma was born.
But
19.
what did they do?
11.
What kind of
Are you
dancing?
talking about the Charleston?
Yeah,
and
the Charleston.
That's the 20s.
Yeah,
Huh?
the
that's the
roaring
roaring
20s, not the
20s.
roaring
Yeah.
40s.
I thought you said ruined.
Oh, my God.
This
Here
is
we
even
go.
earlier than that.
Oh, I forgot Hannah was here today.
It's Kelsey.
Stop it.
Correct. I meant to say that first.
All right, so 1911 is where we're going to end up the story pretty much. So, but I'm going to start September 1910. Oh, I just saw you mute your phone. That's a good idea. All righty. Here we
I
go.
don't want to get in trouble.
September 1910, two sisters traveled from England to Canada to start a new life.
We in England again.
We're going across the pond again.
How about that?
Actually, that's just where they came from.
That guy is still mentioned.
Yes. They were from Liverpool. They were wealthy. Mm-hmm. The sisters' parents died when they were very young. They went to live with their grandfather, and their governess raised them. Her name was Martha. She's going to come up later.
Governess?
Yes. Like
It's
their
like a
babysitter.
nanny.
The nanny.
The babysitter, okay.
The sisters were Dorothea and Claire Williamson. Dorothea went by Dora.
Dora, the Explorer.
Yes, they were actually being Dora the Explorer, kind of.
Wonder when my kids were born.
Dora,
Boys, by the way.
That's right. What's the song? What is it? What's the Dora the Explorer?
I'm not that much. No.
Oh, no.
Okay. Dora was 37. Claire was 33.
Okay.
They're not married. They're rich. Came over to Canada But while they were there, they heard about a doctor located in Seattle, Washington. So,
Not far. Well,
no, not far. Claire, the younger sister, was very interested in health and wellness.
very far from Niagara Falls, though.
Yes,
depending on
Yeah.
what part of Canada,
absolutely.
right.
So they were both vegetarians. I feel like back then people really weren't vegetarians. I
Right.
mean,
Had
feel
to
like
eat
you
beef
needed
and-
all the calories
Had to
you
eat
could
beef and
get.
pork.
well, basically, my point is they marched to the beat of their own drum.
Correct.
You know.
Whatever they had, they ate. Oh, no, they were very wealthy.
They were vegetarians. They did not eat meat.
Okay.
And they looked for more holistic ways to get healed rather than going to see a doctor.
I bet you that was rare. Very
Yeah,
rare
yes.
in 1911.
So the two ladies, well, actually, the younger sister, Clara, she wrote a letter to a lady named Dr. Linda Hazzard.
Duke.
If my last name is Hazzard and I'm a doctor, that's not a good, you know,
Dr. Hazzard.
That's not good looking out right there.
How much? She can't get all the patients. She can definitely have room for patients.
She's clearing
Dr.
them out
Hazzard,
left
I
and right.
can't- No, I'm sorry.
Oh, I forgot to tell you this. You remember the grandpa took them in? When he died, they inherited over $1 million US.
In 1911.
Yes, and
Good
owned
Lord.
properties all around the world.
Plus property.
Yes.
Oh, millions.
And
of
you
dollars.
know, back then you were carrying like your deeds to land and shit.
Right.
You carried that
On
shit.
person.
Yes.
They had a whole suitcase just for that.
Right. So they hear about Dr. Linda Hazzard and they're like, wow, a lady doctor. We're not, you know,
Has it never even crossed their mind?
didn't phase them. They just
Nope.
they were happy that they found a progressive woman doctor. Now remember, this is at this point in the United States, women couldn't even vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a huge thing to find a female doctor.
it was Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. That's who it was. And she
No.
was over there too.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
of course she was. But that's in Canada, right?
No, Seattle, Washington.
Oh, Seattle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Dr. Hazzard in
So,
Seattle.
of course, all the man doctors were putting Dr. Linda Hazzard down, you know, giving her shit, saying she was always killing her patients, and that she's not a real doctor.
Oh.
Yeah, she was confident. Like, she was Lizzo confident. She stood
Hair
up.
toss, checked her nails.
Yes, and she was just like, fuck all y'all, I'm going to do what I do. And she
Poke
couldn't.
that chest out, mama.
Yes, she couldn't see the haters over her lashes, in other words.
Right. I like that.
Yeah. So this lady doctor believed that dieting and fasting, that was a Freudian slip right there, dying and fasting. Dieting and fasting could pretty much cure anything that was wrong with you. She was quoted to say, overeating is the vice of the whole human race.
She may have been predicting the future, but
I feel like she just
feel like
invented Weight
they-
Watchers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Weight Watchers right there.
she's Jenny Craig's great grandmother.
That's only 100 and something years, so it could be just.
Yeah, it could be great. Yeah.
So,
Like my dad would be 100 years old right now.
okay.
He
Yeah.
was born in 22.
Yeah. So the sisters wrote her a letter and they described their ailments: knee pain, like bloating, little aches and pain. Like, y'all.
They needed
Weight
some
Watchers.
protein. They needed some protein.
Well, also, they're 37 and 33 in 1911. So
right.
the life expectancy.
I'm about to say they're probably on their way out.
Well, they didn't have any serious problems.
Right.
Is what I'm getting at. But
So
they
they
wrote,
may make it till 60.
They wrote her a letter. Hey, we've got this and this. Can you help us? She sent them her book that she had published, Another Wow for a Woman, in 1911, and the book was titled "Fasting for the Cure of Disease." The bitch got a book.
Probably sold some too.
Dora and Claire received the book and they read it aloud, cover to cover. I didn't know women could read in 1910.
To each other.
Could they?
Well, they was very wealthy, right?
Yes, their
Yeah.
governess raised them.
Yeah.
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 So
They were homeschooled.
Dora.
Before there was a homeschool.
That's right. Before it was cool to be
Chateau
Yeah.
schooled, castle schooled,
Castle schooled.
whichever home they were
mansion school,
Yeah.
vacation
Summer
home school.
home.
So the two ladies, Dora and Claire, believe that all these men, doctors with their traditional science and drugs and schooling, were fools.
Right.
I giggled on that too when
Yeah.
I read that. They wanted, like I told y'all before, a more holistic, natural approach to their health, and Dr. Hazzard's method was the answer to their prayers. So, her plan is to only eat natural foods. This sounds like some of the stuff we do today, on some of these diets.
Right.
Only eat things that are grown in the earth
Yeah,
or can
the
grow on a
organic.
tree. Yes.
Paleo.
So, it also eliminated...
Is that like paleontologists?
Not at all the same. So, Dr. Hazzard also said sugar, alcohol, and sex were highly discouraged.
What does she know?
I just typed, what the fuck?
I mean, I can live with the sugar part. Alcohol and sex, really?
I mean, like, you can't even live a life without some of these things that she's saying.
Yeah, I have to cope with this world. I have to
Right.
drink.
Yes.
And, I mean, sex is a luxury.
Well, the two sisters were like, sign me the fuck up. We
Yeah.
want to be down with this. And Dr. Hazzard's like, they're like, can you please, they wrote a letter, of course. Can you please take on our case? Can you please take on our case? And Dr. Hazzard was like, hell to the yeah, get your ass over to Seattle. We'll start right away.
We'll pay you $100. You can retire.
So, I'm so sweaty. So she also told them that she was building a beautiful sanitarium on an island near Seattle. Now, I know today we look at the word sanitarium negatively,
I mean,
but what I'm picturing it is more like, in today's standards, one of these natural wellness spas, like a retreat.
flowers.
A
and-
retreat.
Yeah, flowers and real greenery.
The
and
animals come up to you and they
Right.
eat out of your hand.
The beautiful birds.
You and the animals have the same dinner and lunch.
Yes.
Eat out of the same plate.
Yep.
A bite for me, a bite for you. So she said to them, I'm going to start you off with treatment here in Seattle, but once my beautiful sanitarium is finished, I'm going to transfer you there. So they skedaddled down to Seattle. You like that rhyme I made there?
I like that.
Okay. They got down there. They didn't tell any of their family or friends where they were going.
A rule number one.
Yeah.
Here-
I
You
thought
tell
they was
someone.
wealthy.
I feel like they didn't want to be judged. And because
That was a very rare.
their family and friends probably would have said, "You're going to see a wackadoo for what?"
Yeah.
At
and she
least
has-
like in case I don't come back. Or,
Right.
We're going on vacation.
Here's my forwarding address.
Yeah.
1911, though, really.
You don't have to
know.
give all the details.
I mean-
No.
Someone's gonna come looking for you.
Yeah, but in 11, the thought never crossed your mind.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know for sure why they didn't tell anyone, but that's my speculation.
Correct.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yes. You're
They
going to be
just-
looked down on.
Yeah. They didn't want to hear you shouldn't be going to a doctor with a vagina. Mm-hmm. That's what they didn't want to hear. So at this point, February 27th, 1911, it's the day of their appointment. Dr. Linda Hazzard has an office in a brand new swanky building referred to as the Northern Bank and Trust Building. And it's still there today. It just has a different name. And it was super nice, super like if you're paying a specialist, you would expect them to have a high-end office, and
Yeah.
she did.
Of course.
They arrive at their appointment 11 a.m. Dora and Claire met Dr. Hazzard, and she was a tall, imposing woman, and just like confident as everything. She wore a white dress like what the nurses wore back then.
Really?
Yes.
Of course she did. It's 1911. We got to remember that.
Yeah, and the sisters wanted to impress her. Like
Right.
they just thought that, the sun rose and set on her. She didn't waste a minute. She looked at him, talked to him for a couple minutes, and said, "We're going to start treatment immediately. Your conditions are quite serious."
It's serious. You are very ill,
Yes.
you fat fuck.
I mean, basically, and you know what? They weren't. We're going to get to how much they
I'm
weigh.
sorry.
That's okay.
Oops.
And I took offense to that. No, nobody
You
said.
shut up. Seen me lately?
So Dora this is the older sister. She goes, do you think you should examine us? Like before you give us our diagnosis? And Dr. Hazzard just kind of like brushed her off and came back with story after story of all these successful patients that have, she's seen and cured and
Look at my results.
yeah. And when she said let's start immediately, she meant that fucking day.
Oh.
Yeah, let's get started, okay?
Yeah,
we
I'm
just
no-
do this now.
I'm no doctor, but I feel like you kind of need to do some kind of exam before
Could you
Touch
listen,
something.
at least listen to my heart, maybe?
Well, if my doctors listen to everything I told them, no. I don't have half the stuff I think I do.
Right.
Google.
Yeah.
So what Dr. Hazzard didn't tell the sisters was that she left Minneapolis in a rush.
Mm-hmm.
Because
The truth shall set you free.
she had some legal issues going on there.
No kidding.
Yes, she was fined for practicing medicine without a state license.
Oh,
Her
was
fine,
she really a doctor?
Her fine, we'll find out.
Okay.
You'll be the judge of that.
Well, she said that she thought all the men with medical school training were fools.
that was the
so-
sisters who thought
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, not
I
her.
thought it was her. I thought that's what her book said.
No, she basically would poo-poo them if they tried to bring her down,
Right.
So she was charged a $100 fine. In today's money, $3,100, roughly.
Okay.
At least.
No, I did the
Okay.
calculation.
Okay.
So,
Post COVID.
yes, as of 2023, I expected it to be more.
Me too.
First of all, $100 sounds like bullshit. But then I was like, okay, I'm going to Google this. It's going to be like 10 or 15 grand.
That's what I'm thinking.
No.
At least 10 grand.
No.
If you were a
No
doctor, you
kidding.
probably got that.
Well, she also ran so fast, like she left her shit behind, like jewelry and like she was,
She was out the
Let me
back
get the
door and
fuck
they were
outta
coming
here.
in the front.
yep. She was called the starvation specialist. But like I said, she didn't tell Dora and Claire about that.
Well,
But,
of course not.
but Dora is still thinking it's kind of sketch. Like
Ooh,
you
she
didn't
caught
want to
on.
look at any, like my ear,
Anything,
something. Okay.
Something.
Claire-
Put one of them heart
Something.
beepers on
Put
my
me on a
heart.
treadmill and
Just tell
check
me to
anything.
breathe a few times.
Put
and
your-
see what
Put
you
your
feel.
hand on my wrist, okay? Make sure I have a pulse.
Yes. Claire, on the other hand, was all about it. She
She's
was
in.
all in.
Baby sister,
So do y'all want to hear about the treatment?
please.
First treatment consisted of Dr. Hazzard pounding on their backs. Pounding.
Oh,
beating.
she's Asian?
No. It was called a massage though. But I'm thinking, okay, well, when my kids like were very little, if they got the croup or something, the doctor did say
Correct.
put them in a hot shower and kind of cup your hand and hit their back to kind of break up the
Correct.
phlegm. However, she was also pounding their faces and their foreheads and their heads.
With her
With her
hands.
hands.
Okay, I was fixing to ask.
I didn't know if it was
with
like a rubber
hammer?
mallet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is that?
But also remember, she's female, so she's not pounding them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that. Okay. And she called it massage therapy.
I'm thinking me and Hannah's we just trying to move it along because we know what's fixing to happen.
Well, as they were leaving the office, she gave them their meal plan. Here's all your Jenny Craigs, one a day. No.
Atkins, count your points.
Are you ready for this meal plan? Boil tomatoes in a quart of water to make vegetable broth. Do not put salt, sugar, or any other seasoning.
I'm out.
No Tony Sashers.
I'm out.
No.
What's that? What's the stuff they use in the north? Old Bay.
Obey.
Yeah, they can't put that in there. So they were allowed to put a thumbnail size pat of butter in this water. I'm like, ooh, fat.
I bet that's not even salted.
No, because
Not-
they
no,
churn that shit by
unsalted.
hand.
Unsalted butter.
They save the salt to cure the meat, you know?
Correct.
All right. They were to drink 1 cup of the tomato broth 2 times a day.
I can do that.
That was it.
It seems like colonoscopy prep to me. Not.
Oh, it's not a cleanse.
No,
tomato?
but think about this.
It just
She
sounds
started
like
the
it.
juice cleanse.
Yeah, like one. I mean, later on, they were allowed to. You said juice. They were allowed to add asparagus broth and orange juice to the diet. I feel like
Oh.
with that in your system, if you put that acid on your system, you're just going to be
Yeah, flush.
Yes.
Flush.
okay. They could not have anything else for several weeks, or until Dr. Hazzard told them different.
Weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Weeks. Okay.
No,
Weeks.
they could only have that.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
What did I say? They
You
couldn't
said
have
they
anything
couldn't
else.
have anything, I think, right?
They couldn't have anything else. You're right.
That's it.
So they also had to walk. I mean, like walk
Brisk.
very fast every day. Get your ass out there, sweat. I know you're rich ladies, but do it. So they're just like, okay. They paid Dr. Hazzard, I believe this was per week, $60 a piece, so $120.
For their meal plan? For their Weight Watchers?
They also got to see her 5 days a week.
Oh,
So
every
that's
day.
like, well, if you said that the medical license was $100 and that was like
fine.
$3,100,
Yeah.
So she's getting at least like 30, probably close to $3,400
Yes.
a week from them.
From them too.
Good Lord.
Oh,
So
by
she
the way,
can retire.
part of the treatment, the massages, she also wants them to have internal massages. Mm-hmm. Sounds sexual.
Nice.
It's enemas. It's just her way
Still
of saying
sexual.
No. So, doctor, that's disgusting.
You a dirty man.
Dirty stump.
Dirty Stump. Dirty
Hey,
James.
hey,
Dirty
mama,
James.
I'm coming through the back door tonight.
So, Dr. Hazzard also arranged for them to rent an apartment close to the
Closer.
office. And that is where, at their apartment, is where they actually did the therapies.
I'm thinking right now, Miss Dr. Hazzard is a badass bitch.
They moved into the Buena Vista Apartments. D8 was their apartment number. And I think Dr. Hazzard saw them every day, but they had a nurse come. The it started off as like hour-long beatings and enemas, but then it turned into whole day long. All day long enemas.
She done took a liking to him.
The pain for them was so bad that they had to string like this hammock up over the bathtub so that when they passed out, they wouldn't fall and hit their head on something when they were giving them the enemas.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What,
What?
did you get pictures of what they were shoving up there?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking.
I did print some pictures, but I did not find any related to.
That's why I asked,
The
because you
animal.
did say you had visuals.
Dirty as hell.
Shut up, Hannah.
So their physical appearances changed drastically. They fainted so frequently or passed out so frequently that Dora and Claire didn't even pay attention to it after a while.
Yeah, it was just another thing.
It was just another thing they did.
I'll be up in a minute.
Like, I'm going to wake up and breathe today. I'm going to wake up and faint constantly all day long. One neighbor in the building wouldn't even, like, if they knew they were in the hallway or going out, she would not go outside her apartment because she didn't want to see them. They looked so
bad, so
like
frail.
skeletons.
Yeah, it had to be.
Yeah.
Dang.
I mean, they eat drinking tomato juice.
Fuck. Not even. It's
Not even
literally
V8.
right.
Not
It's
even
not
V8.
even the hot and spicy
V1.
one.
They had V1, just
V1.
tomatoes.
Yes.
V1.
One vegetable.
Well, they were able to add asparagus and what else?
And
Orange juice.
Orange
Orange
juice.
juice,
So they had
yes.
V2.
V3.
No, orange juice isn't a vegetable.
Oh, my God. Neither is a fucking tomato.
You're right. Okay, so
We're not going to get in a fight, are we?
No, I love
Okay.
you too much. Nurse Nellie Sherman. I'm just going to call her Nurse Nellie.
Oh, absolutely. 50? Can we call it 50 Cent? I mean, same thing almost.
Nurse Nellie Sherman was Dr. Hazzard's a loyal assistant. And she would go to their apartment, like I told y'all, and administer these enemas every day. One day, Dr. Hazzard told Nurse Nellie that the two English girls were in a bad way, meaning that they were really sick, but not from the treatment.
No, of course not. They got ill.
No.
Yeah.
This is kind of reminding me of Ian and Maya.
Oh.
from yesterday?
Oh.
Her loyal assistant I'm
Yes,
talking about.
her loyal assistant. So get this. One evening, Nurse Nellie went to a neighbor's door, and this is how I see what played out in my mind. Nurse Nellie knocks on the door and says, hey, could you come look at something for me? And the neighbor's like, well, what do you want me to look at? And she's like, I need you to look at something that came out of Claire's enema.
Excuse me?
Can you go dig
Excuse
through her
me.
shit, please?
And I'm like,
The hell?
slam the door. No. The neighbor's name is Clara. Now, that's not to be confused with Claire, one of the two sisters, okay?
Right.
So Clara, who is a much better person, a much better human being than I am, went over to see what Nurse Nellie wanted her to see.
I'll help you.
Yeah, but she had already been in their apartment before and met them.
Okay.
Met Dr. Hazzard. Still, I ain't gonna look at your shit bucket.
Correct, but at
know.
least she knew them.
Also, when she was there previously, she overheard Dr. Hazzard telling Nurse Nellie about another patient that had just died
Oh, poor thing.
and how she needed a bigger tub to do the autopsy in. Because she would put them in these like bathtubs.
Bathtubs,
She called them
basically.
kettles, but they're bathtubs.
Right.
Okay. So, the neighbor's kind of like, what the fuck on all this already?
Of course she is.
But now, come look at my doo-doo. And she went and,
You know she wasn't going to look. She was going over there to be nosy.
well.
Hey, did they have
In a
latex?
good way. In a good way. Like, what's
yeah.
going on over there?
Right.
Sure, I'll come look.
Yeah.
Did they have latex gloves?
I don't think so.
I'm thinking
When was
no.
latex made?
Right.
I did not Google that. Okay.
I'm on it.
So,
She's on it.
oh my God. I wrote, if I were the neighbor, I would go to the police and move the fuck out of this apartment complex. And I honestly don't know which one I would have done first.
Right, be gone.
Yeah. But she went, and Nurse Nellie's like pointing to the bucket, and there's this white matter floating in the bucket. We don't know what it is, okay? But if you're only consuming a liquid,
Can we
It has
take a minute and guesstimate what it was?
sure. I feel like it had to be some kind of internal parts of her body.
It's
like,
got to be
what else?
tissue, some kind
Yes.
of tissue
What else is fucking coming
falling
out?
off. Like
Yes.
literally, because they are so thin already.
What about you, Hannah? Do you want to take a guess? You're making a really disgusting face.
Yeah.
Well, no, she just Googled it.
No.
Oh,
No.
that's latex
No,
gloves.
Did you find
gloves
it?
were invented in 1883.
Oh, they did have
So
latex
they did
gloves.
They were
Oh,
old at that
I'm
point.
so pissed.
I don't know. I'm thinking it's a tapeworm.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
We don't know what it is.
yeah, right. Let's just.
We don't know what it is. But despite the fact that Nurse Nellie is very loyal to Dr. Hazzard, she goes and finds a man doctor to come take a look. Yeah, Dr. Brewer was like, you need to feed them more than tomato broth.
Well, I'm not a doctor, and I could have told you that.
Fucking exactly. But
The nerve of him.
he was mansplaining the shit out of that.
Yep, you're
Mansplaining.
sick.
He was Dr. Mansplaining
Yep,
it.
you're starving. They're starving. That'll be $200, please.
So, no, because even though that there's another doctor giving a second opinion, the sisters did not want to have anything to do with that if it wasn't what Dr. Hazzard
Dr.
said.
Hazzard,
Her words.
golden rule, baby.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, they had to be feeling like shit. Like,
I'm about to tell you the very next sentence.
I mean, are they brainwashed, obviously?
Dora slept all day because she couldn't
Well,
walk.
she can't walk.
She kept passing the fuck out. She just stayed in bed all the time.
Do we have a weight on them?
We're going to get there.
Okay.
Yes.
all right, that's awesome.
Do you need another drink, by the way, Hannah? What are you drinking?
I got my setup over here. So I saw this on the internet, of course, and it is Tropicana Pina Colada juice and
Really?
Malibu.
That sounds very
and
beachy.
I don't remember the last time I bought Malibu. Probably in, well, I can't say that because I would be underage when I bought it.
Okay.
Yep. So this is the
See
combo. and
no
I got,
evil, hear no
No,
evil.
no,
I got my little watermelon.
You're
cup.
ready for summertime.
Yep.
It's perfect.
The
And
most
I like
wonderful time of the year.
I like your That's what that commercial says. Have
The
you s-
watermelon cup is cool.
The watermelon cups,
Thank
but
you.
even cooler is her grits with a side of murder.
Oh, this
Bucket
was,
hat.
This was
Yeah,
because you got me on a
she-
no makeup day.
she
and
pissed me off
I
on
haven't
that,
brushed my
okay?
hair.
But you have the grits with a side of murder blanket by you.
It's not covering me.
Well, you can cover yourself if you'd like. It's too hot.
I'd rather not.
Okay, so what are you drinking, Stump?
Shut up. I'm not drinking 14 like I was yesterday on video. Oh, audio. That's because I came with a radio face yesterday. You just couldn't do it, huh? Fixed myself up
You
today.
looked so nice yesterday.
And you done my makeup and everything.
I see.
It looks great, don't it?
It does.
Thank God.
So back to the story.
Yes, let's
And
go.
Dora, we left her in bed
Because she can't walk.
because poor gal can't do anything. So Dr. Hazzard decided at this point that Dora was like crazy out of her mind and she couldn't be trusted to make any decisions.
So she transferred her,
No.
oh.
She told Claire, don't ever discuss anything financial with your sister. She's mad. She's lost her mind. But I feel like if she really was a doctor, this is kind of crossing the bounds now
Oh,
of just
absolutely.
medical treatment. You're trying to give legal advice now.
Yeah, she's now power of attorney, please.
Yeah. Well, she convinced Claire to keep all of their land deeds and jewelry in a safe. Guess where the safe was?
In their
Probably
apartment.
in her room.
At Dr. Hazzard's office.
Oh, in the office. Okay, at
Yes.
least it's in the office.
But it's
No,
not-
it's at Dr. Hazzard's, and they're in their apartment and can't walk.
Also remember the saying, possession is 9/10 of the law.
9/10 of the
It
law.
probably fucking started back then because all you had
She
was
might
that.
be the one that
And-
invented it.
She might.
And let me guess
Or
who has
created
the
it.
combination to
To the
the safe
safe.
Right.
in her
yeah.
office.
Yeah. Okay. You remember I told you once her beautiful sanitarium was going to be built,
Right.
they were going to get transferred there. It's on the island of Olala. I hope I'm saying it right. And Dr. Hazzard named this, I'm going to call it a retreat.
Wait, I thought we was in Seattle, not
Yes.
Hawaii. Not Hawaii.
No, but there's an island offshore from Seattle. Dr. Hazzard called, and I could go on and give you a lot of information about the island because I got the background of the people and all that, but we're not
course you
going
do.
into that. This is what she named it, the sanitarium. Wilderness Heights Institute of Natural Therapeutics. Yeah. Again, I'm picturing a resort type place where you can heal your mind and your body and all the spiritual stuff and
Win it.
I
yoga.
feel like it's supposed to be that, but it's actually like that. What was that fire festival where you get there and it's just a tent on a rocky beach?
Burning Man?
No, the fire festival where they like got all these rich people to come and they promised this
Oh,
big
I don't know.
resort music festival, and they got there and they got like ham sandwiches and tents.
I never heard of it. But
I haven't either.
But
Oh,
I
you
did, but I
need
did
to-
see Greg shaking his head.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I know a
he
little bit
knows.
about that.
Well, Greg, I
was
hope he
there.
doesn't mind me saying, he lived in Seattle.
Oh.
So he probably knows some of these names, and hopefully
He might know.
Nope.
He might
He
know
said
Dr.
no.
Hazard.
he might, but he doesn't appear to be old enough to know Dr. Hazzard personally.
I wasn't going there.
Okay, so Seattle called this sanitarium, the people in Seattle called it Hazzard's Lodge, but the people that lived on the island of Olala called it Starvation Heights.
Of course they did. They know.
So on April 22nd, 1911, the sisters were transported by ambulance to the pier.
Of course, because they can't walk.
Well, also they had to get on a ferry to get over to the island. The ambulance ride was provided by the local funeral home, Butterworth,
God.
Butterworth and Sons.
This is getting good.
Mrs. Butterworth.
I know.
Right.
No, it was a bunch of rich white men. Definitely
Just
not.
FYI, there's no more. Don't say Mrs. Butterworth again.
I
There's no
know,
more.
but I'm not. Look, it is what it is.
Yep.
So they're supposed to take a ferry over, but they had to sit in the ambulance and wait until Dr. Hazzard's attorney arrived to update their wills before they went over. Then off to Starvation Heights. Okay. So at this point, they each weigh about 70 pounds. I'm gonna get to
Lord.
where we came from and how and all that.
That is so close to bone, it ain't funny.
Okay. There only about 300 people lived on the island. I'm just going to tell you that much.
And this is Dr. Hazzard's island?
It's not her island.
She just owns a piece of it.
She built the Starvation Heights, the
On a piece
resort,
of
the
it.
retreat. Yes.
Okay. I was
So-
just making sure the whole island wasn't like hers.
No, it's
Okay.
not. She did not employ 300 people to keep up with the island.
I mean,
She
shit,
couldn't
she's
even
making-
pay her $100 fine. She ain't paying all these people.
No, she'd choose not to, I think. But she's making $3,400
Yeah.
off of,
A week.
She could have retired
So
and bought an island.
she could have.
Hey, while that's open,
Yeah.
you mind?
Would you like a swig?
I would love.
Redneck Riviera. So they get the ladies over there. This is not a beautiful sanitarium. This is Dr. Hazzard's house. She lives there,
Oh,
along with her husband, Mr. Hazard, and their son.
is his name Duke?
His
Damn
name is
it, I've
actually
said it
Bo.
already.
No, I'm joking.
Oh my God! Stop it!
No.
Here we go.
I hope we got Stump's face when he.
Shut up.
Listen, the living room area of the house is where they set up the bathtub to do the internal massages. That
In the living
Enemas?
room? Come on.
yeah, they put them in this teeny tiny attic. I don't even know how those two poor ladies even got up there, but maybe that was the thing.
On a stretcher?
So the portion of the attic that they stayed in was right above Dr. Hazzard's bedroom, so she could hear if they were moving around or trying to leave or.
They
What-
couldn't.
What's that thing that all your uppity neighbors got? A
Elevator?
dumbwaiter?
Yeah, a dumbwaiter elevator.
I
yeah.
bet you they use that.
They could have. So, the Dr. Hazzard even like partitioned them off with like one of those screens. You know what I mean? It's not the see-through kind of screen, but
Right, but like when you
changing
got
your clothes behind.
yeah, the
Oh,
curtain
yeah.
with the curtains and the rod. Yeah, you can move them.
So she told them from
Partitions.
this point on, they had to be separated and
Stump.
kept apart at all times. What?
I said, good job, Stump. That was a good word.
Okay, not long after this, Dr. Hazzard started telling people that Claire was going to die.
No
'Cause-
shit.
Claire went from being a 100-pound woman, so that's where she started.
Started
my
at
God.
100 pounds. She was T90.
She was not a moo cow by any
And
means.
Wait, was it Dr. Hazzard that was tall and?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so not
Large
the
and
girls.
in charge.
But I've seen pictures of the two ladies when they were like young and like they weren't fat at all.
Right, never fat. Yeah.
I mean, even at 100 pounds, if you're short, that's still not a lot of weight.
if you're
No.
5 foot tall,
Well, she went from being a healthy, robust 100-pound woman to being 50 pounds.
50.
50.
50 is nifty.
Oh my God.
So what Dr. Hazard doesn't know
I'm
is
trying to keep up with you. 50 is nifty.
you're a good
Rhyming.
rhymer. What Dr. Hazard doesn't know is all this time Claire has been writing letters back home to Margaret.
Thank the good Lord.
See, she did have a little sense.
So remember, Margaret was their governess
Yes,
that raised
yes.
them like her own children. So I might call her Mama Margaret sometimes. But she had been writing letters, somehow sneaking them past Dr. Hazard because she watched everything like a hawk. You know,
Well, yeah, she's killing them.
yeah,
Fuck.
exactly. Claire sent a telegram to Margaret and it said, "Come, SS Marama, May 8th, first class." And Mama Margaret knew that meant you need to get over here.
Get your ass over here.
Yeah. So by the time, okay, so she gets on the boat May 8th. It took her till June 1st
Oh, good Lord.
to get to Canada. Now I know they're in Seattle, but that's where
3
she
weeks.
went. Yeah. I mean, like, seriously.
Yeah.
Fuck me to be on a boat that long. No.
You don't have a car for one.
Ugh.
Wait,
What?
did they have cars? I mean, they had boats.
Yeah, they had cars then, but like,
When was the automobile
well-
invented? 1800?
I don't know. She's
Hannah?
going to Google it.
I'm on it.
So,
I got you.
and Margaret was coming from Australia. So once the girls left, she moved back home to Australia. Okay? Once the girls left England.
Okay.
So it took her 3 weeks, 4
Right.
weeks, whatever. When she gets there, she's greeted at the dock by Mr. Hazzard. So Dr. Hazzard, in the meantime, had found out about all the letters and shit.
Oh,
It was too late, though. Mama Margaret was already on the way.
coming in hot.
Mr. Hazzard, yes, coming in hot.
No, it sounds like lukewarm if it takes a month.
Coming in tepid. Coming
was
in
good.
Yes. So did you find the answer to when cars were invented?
1886
That's-
officially
yeah, that's
in
what I'm
Europe,
thinking.
but
Here's the
not
thing:
widely spread.
even if she could, even if she had a car, she was coming from Australia. She couldn't drive
On boat.
Yes,
In a boat.
Had to go by boat.
Well, when we realize they have boats, so they must have cars.
Well, I mean, okay.
Well, they had paddle boats too. Right?
Either way,
Correct. Yeah.
Mr. Hazzard,
Let's move on.
I regret to inform you that Claire has died, and Dora is helplessly insane.
No.
So Margaret was.
So Mr. Hazard was
He
all
delivered
up in this.
he delivered the news.
He's all up in this.
And she was so late. Claire had already been dead for a few weeks. Like she probably got the telegram, got on the boat, and the poor girl was probably already dead by the
Right.
time she got on the boat.
Yeah.
Correct.
So she gets settled somewhere, I guess a hotel, and the next day Mr. Hazzard gets Margaret, takes her to Seattle because they're somewhere, I think, on the East Coast. I'm not sure, but anyway, they go directly to Doctor. He's like, "Come on, we're going to Seattle. We're going to see Dr. Hazzard, his wife." Dr. Hazzard, Margaret goes into her office, and Dr. Hazzard told her that the girls were in a bad way when they came to her, and that she did perform an autopsy on Claire, and her liver was so hard that she couldn't cut it with a knife. She said that Claire's blood had turned to powder.
A fucking closet alcoholic.
She gave Margaret a very graphic description of the autopsy.
Dang. Ugh.
Yeah. So at this
Are
point,
you gonna give it to us?
no. That's all you're getting.
I'd pass out.
Hard liver, powder blood.
Y'all better get the hammock ready. I'd be fainting.
This bitch even took pieces of the organs and brought them to the
And
table.
showed her.
Yes.
She
Yes,
basically wanted her to
indeed.
be like, no, stop. I don't want to hear anymore.
She's already in shock that the girl's dead.
Yeah.
Of course.
And it's not even 24 hours yet that she's landed here.
Right.
But I'm wondering,
You didn't mean landed though.
well, landed,
Arrived.
docked.
Arrived.
Ships land, don't they?
No, they died.
They don't?
They die.
Oh, okay.
And you know that because we watch them dock all the time at Fred.
Well,
Yes.
not very well there.
They do.
Let's
So-
laugh some more.
Here's what I want to know, because this would never happen in today's times.
Absolutely not.
How is the same doctor treating the patient, pronouncing the patient dead, and doing the autopsy,
right.
and making the death certificate?
Probably don't have a coroner nowhere's around.
Well, it just seems like a conflict of interest or something.
Of
there.
course.
Why do you need a coroner?
Well, I feel like at some point, like if the doctor's doing something to you, shouldn't a different doctor
Somebody, yeah.
examine the body
I mean,
and do the autopsy to see if there's any
absolutely.
fishy shit going on?
Yeah.
That was my bad. I thought you said corner, like the corner of a room.
Oh,
no, coroner.
All right, I got you.
Coroner.
I'm picking
another
up on
O.
your Gonzalez accent.
Add
Okay.
another O.
So Margaret's in shock. She doesn't get all of this. She doesn't know what to say about all of this. It didn't make sense. Then Dr. Hazzard says, "Would you like to see Claire's body?" It's been weeks,
She
y'all.
is loving this.
Weeks.
She's loving this.
Margaret is horrified, and then the doctor says, "Well, I had her embalmed beautifully," which doesn't seem that strange to us. Embalming,
I bet you she's the mortician too.
well, she's not, but embalming was just barely scratching the surface in the United States. It was not a thing anywhere else. People did not preserve bodies.
And she's from Australia, so.
And the girls, she raised them in England. So
Oh, England, yeah.
Yeah, so none of the, okay. She's kind of like
What the hell's going on?
Well,
Yeah.
she doesn't even know how to answer because the whole embalming thing is like, to her, like voodoo shit, you know?
Well, it sounds like if someone told you, like, they had a person, we stuffed them. We got them
Right,
taxidermy.
Yeah, you're right.
like,
That's exactly right.
if someone told us that today, we'd be like, what
Horrified.
you mean?
Right, we emptied some of our pillows and filled
Yeah.
it with that.
Okay, Norman Bates. Okay, so the old doc takes Margaret over to the 5th floor of the Butterworth and Sons funeral home, and there is Claire embalmed in the casket.
You said to the 5th floor?
Yes.
Really?
This funeral home had 5 floors. Yes.
I have never in my life seen a multiple storied funeral home.
Just as a side piece of information, these people, the Butterworth family, was like one of the very first morticians funeral. Like they were one of the first in Seattle. Okay, and he started off as a furniture builder and then switched to coffin making and then became a mortician. Like this is when funerals became a business.
Right, he did it right.
Yes.
He probably invented it. Maybe.
He probably did. So, yeah, it's said, not for sure, that he actually was the reason why the word mortician was invented. Okay?
Not to be confused with magician?
No, not at all. Okay. So she takes poor Margaret over there to see Claire's body, and it's embalmed, and it's laying in the casket, and it's wearing Claire's dress. But Margaret is like, that's not Claire. The hair's wrong. The hands are wrong.
Oh.
Now,
no way.
I cannot tell you if it was Claire or not. We never know this. But I can tell you this was the first time that she had seen an embalmed body.
Okay.
And they look very different.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that probably don't happen every day.
And
I've never
it's
seen one
not-
yet. Well, yes.
If you went to a
Yeah.
funeral,
Yeah,
you
that's
have,
right,
yeah.
right.
But
But
also, like, even today, you see them and you're like, that doesn't really look
No,
like
it
them.
never does,
And if
ever.
it was early on, it wasn't
Yeah, how good
as
of a job could
advanced.
they do?
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Yep.
So Dr. Hazzard's like, it's Claire, right? You need to identify the body. It's Claire, right? Well, that makes me suspicious right there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fucking right.
Okay. Maybe not.
And
Hannah, I'm gonna need you to add a few more cuss words, please.
fuck you.
Thank you.
Okay.
But I did say Hannah.
Me?
Oh,
My mama might watch this.
Oh my God! Here we go.
keeping it clean for
Well,
Mama.
look, your last name's fixing to change anyway, so.
So
Well, now we got visual. My face won't change.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't
Here
me.
we go.
I can't see that anymore.
Yep.
to further complicate this bullshit roller coaster ride Margaret's been on for the last 24 hours,
Jeez.
and not knowing that she doesn't think that this is Claire.
Yeah.
Dr. Hazzard told her Claire wanted to be cremated and her ashes spread
Oh,
on
kiss my
Olala
nuts.
Island.
In Hawaii.
Yeah, because she had such happy memories.
No. Margaret knew Claire never wanted to be embalmed because it wasn't a thing. She knew she did not want to be cremated.
She wanted a proper burial.
And she wanted to be buried in either England or Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Not in Seattle.
not on Olala Island.
In Hawaii.
No.
off the.
It's actually in
I'm
Washington.
getting you a map for your
called-
birthday.
Just kidding.
Okay, sorry. So Margaret's
Can't be
overwhelmed.
so serious.
I'm not being so serious. Margaret's overwhelmed. She's shocked. She's horrified. But now she has to switch gears and think about Dora. Okay, so
Right.
this other
She's on
this,
her last leg because she's fucking
she's
insane.
like, oh, I can't wait to see her. Giving herself some. Dr. Hazzard brought Margaret to the island, to a cabin that had been specially built
for her.
for Dora, called Claire's Cabin, in memory of Claire.
Right.
How
Hey, would you like
sweet.
to see Dora? I'll bring her out on a dolly.
Here's her liver, if you'd like. No. So when I say cabin, what comes to mind in
Cabin. A log cabin.
1912? Okay.
Yeah, a log cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, a shack.
This is described as a chicken coop, basically.
Hello.
Margaret said Dora looked and smelled like death.
Oh,
Yeah.
Go figure.
you
Yeah.
need to wash a rag over that old.
Oh, yeah. Run a rag over that over ass.
Y'all nasty. That's
Uh-huh.
right.
We say that around here all the time. You need to
I'm
run
so-
a rag over that over
There
dirty
ain't no
ass.
way this girl is thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna get so much better from all of this. I guess she got to a point where she couldn't run away, so
Yeah,
It's
you're
just
right.
a matter of
Yeah,
time.
all
If you
that
can't-
kind of stuff just baffles
if
me.
you
I
can't-
just can't get over that.
If you can't walk without passing out, you sure as shit can't get to the ferry and have them bring you back to the mainland.
Okay, and am I right about this? Like I'm no doctor. Like your mind is usually the last thing to go, right?
I don't know because I feel like starvation will fuck with your head.
I feel like that's one of those tactics they use, you know?
To
Like,
torture,
in your
yeah.
head?
to torture
No, for
people.
torture and like
Maybe
just
so.
Like-
okay,
to mentally break
Like
them
people who are
down.
captured in war and stuff.
Right. like the water drops and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
the waterboard. Okay.
Right.
I forgot to tell you this one little thing about Dr. Hazzard because she's such an awesome lady. She called the local dentist when someone died and had their gold teeth pulled, and she kept them.
And gave them back to her. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Yeah.
This
So
fucking bitch is so rich.
yeah, no shit, right? So Margaret kind of became Dora's full-time caregiver. Like she would go there and she would try to sneak her food. And
All right. Now, Margaret can walk around, get on a boat and all this, but she can't get this girl out or say,
No, she can't.
tell him you need to leave.
No, we're gonna get to that part, and I'll tell you why.
There you
So
go jumping the gun again.
all the visits. No, I would have the same questions.
Yeah, I do. I say that because that's what I do.
Right. So Margaret, as she's visiting and trying to take care of Dora, she's learning little things about Dr. Hazzard. Like the day.
Ooh, she's piecing things together.
Yeah, she couldn't do it initially.
Good
She was
girl.
just in shock.
Of course.
So she found out that the day after Claire died, Dr. Hazzard was wearing her clothes and jewelry, or Claire's clothes and jewelry around on the island.
Nice. The next day, like, ooh, I want to smell like her.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Ooh, smell like death?
Oh, to
It's
death.
it's my story. and I'm
Okay, you're sticking to it. Okay. She also found out that Claire gave Mr. Hazzard power of attorney. She's finding out all kinds of shit. Okay. So everybody's thinking, how do we get Dora out of here? Well, Margaret got a hold of one of their cousins that didn't live too far away.
Oh.
And he's a man, because, you know, men ran the world. They still do. And she's like,
Not
I
according
bet.
to Beyonce.
I beg to differ too.
well, she's like, John, you got to get over here and help me get Dora.
Y'all was smarter. Pussy's powerful. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
Just saying.
Well, Dr. Hazzard wouldn't let Dora leave the island because she said that Dora owed her thousands of dollars.
Ooh.
So the family eventually paid her $900, which is close to 30,
Right.
to get her out of the hellhole. And on July 22nd, 1911, Dora fled to Tacoma, Washington. They got her out. She barely weighed 60 pounds.
Jeez.
Now,
At least they got her out.
do you remember I told you they came from England?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm curious. I'm so curious. I'm just been going through my mind. I wonder how many did she kill?
Oh, I'm going to tell
Okay,
you.
all right. I knew
yeah.
it was coming.
So the Brits don't take too kindly to an American woman doctor, or anyone for that matter, hurting one of their own. And their government started their own investigation of Dr. Hazzard.
I like the Brits.
I do too. So an attorney visited her and asked her where she studied medicine. Her reply was, at 2 osteopathic institutions, but it would be useless to name them, for they have both ceased to exist.
Yes.
And his ceased. They are no longer
Yes.
in exist. His
Nice.
comeback was that because of you, bitch? Like, he didn't say that, but he was like,
Oh.
did they fail because of you?
Yeah.
I never
right.
met anyone that was a doctor that was not very proud of where they went to school.
Correct.
She wouldn't say, and
Pull
he
it
just
up. Pull it up on Google.
he clapped back at her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the investigation continued on, and they found out that there were previous patients that she had slowly killed and took their money and possessions. So finally, on January 15th, 1912, of course, they arrested her.
Okay.
She's going to trial, January 15th, 1912.
Less than 2 years.
Yeah. So she was on trial specifically for Claire's murder, not anything else. They had to like make the jury, they took the jury out a couple of times during the trial because Hazzard, I'm not even calling her Dr. Hazzard anymore at this point because we don't know who the fuck gave her doctorate degree.
Revoked.
She was signaling the witnesses. She had her witnesses lying for her. She was a shit show. This thing.
Badass bitch.
She's a whole shit show. But started on January 15th.
Doing some baseball signs. In
Right.
There.
She's like
just,
Still, bitch.
That's not the lie I told you to tell. So she did that. And so finally on February 4th, 2012, Linda Hazzard was found guilty of manslaughter. Now hold your breath. Again, she was sentenced to 2 to 20 years of hard labor.
2 to 20.
2 to 20, somewhere in there. Back then, women didn't really get punished very hard.
Oh, my God.
At all.
This morning when I woke up after my drunk ass left here last night.
Yes.
I watched Discovery Channel, and this guy, a wealthy girl, fell in love with this guy, and he was very mean. Like, everybody that she would introduce him to knew he was really mean and being bad, and she was infatuated with him.
Oh.
Well, he beat her to death with a hammer.
Oh my God. What's the story? What's the name of it? Do you remember?
I can't remember. That's what I'm just thinking of this when you said that. Anyway, he beat her to death with a hammer, buried her in a 6-foot grave that he already had made.
Yeah.
Dug already.
Premeditation.
Correct. He was convicted of manslaughter and got like 25 years.
Okay. That's horrible.
Yes. And that's today.
But 2 to 20.
Right.
So she was really, okay, she was sentenced on February 4th, 2012. She was released in December, not 2012, 19.
Yeah, 1912.
I didn't know if I heard 2012 or you actually said
I didn't even think.
2012.
I just heard 1912.
I got a little
You did
buzz
say that.
now.
That's all right.
February 4th, 1912, went in, December 1915, released. So it was like 2 or 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. When she got out, she continued to attract and treat patients.
Fucking right she did.
What the fuck? She finally opened her dream sanitarium, but it burnt down in 1935. Wah.
Thank the good Lord.
Yeah. But they said that women would even go to her for abortions. Like, she was doing all the shit at this point.
Coat hanger?
Probably, because that wasn't a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that
Right.
was so illegal.
Right.
All right. This old bitch.
As opposed to now it is a thing. Abortion.
Well, it was until
Dr. Kevorkian.
we are not
not-
going to talk about politics.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's leave that alone.
So here's the thing. Listen. She got sick and decided to try her own program.
Oh, you would think she would do that first before she did it to everyone else. But,
She
Just
died
tomatoes.
in 1938 from her illness because she was treating herself with her own starvation
Right.
method, and she actually did die of starvation.
She talked herself into starving.
lied.
she brainwashed herself.
She lied so fucking much she believed her own fucking
She
lies.
talked
Wait.
herself into starving.
But the thing is, there's no way she had any, surviving patients from this if she was starving
Right.
them. So what?
Yeah, where's your accolades
Yeah,
at?
where's your proof that it worked? All of my patients died, but let me go
But
ahead
I'm
and
going
do
to
this
try it
myself.
because I am
yeah.
an iron rod. I can withstand anything. So she was 70 when she died. I think that's pretty old
Yeah, that's
for
pretty-
19, whatever,
Yeah.
38. So what about poor Dora?
Oh, my
Are you
God.
wondering what happened to poor Dora?
Oh, she wasn't dead. That's right.
She escaped.
Yeah.
Margaret got her out.
Yeah, and
they
her
brought her
cousin
to
John.
Tacoma.
And John.
So throughout the trial, Dora received many marriage proposals in the mail.
I'm sure.
Once the verdict was read and Dora was free, the media asked her what she was going to do next.
Go to Disney World.
That's what I wrote on my paper. Just kidding. She didn't go to Disney World. She said she's going to go back to Australia because she probably wanted to be with
That's
Margaret.
where she wanted to be.
I would want to be way the fuck away from
Yeah,
Olala Island.
I don't want to be in Hawaii.
So she also told the media, she's like, so far I haven't accepted any proposals. So, but she did eventually marry Reverend Wyndham Chaplin.
This man's name was Chaplin.
Yes.
He was destined.
Yes, he was. And they had one child together. She died in 1945 at the age of 71.
No shit.
No shit. Yeah.
Good for her.
How
She
long
survived.
how long did it take her to recover? Do you know? Like,
I mean, she got out of there. What you mean, like from the time she got out to? No, I don't
Yeah.
know. But she obviously, because you know,
She started eating,
if
probably.
if you're emaciated like that, you're not going to be able to conceive a baby.
yeah, well, and
Correct.
also you can't just like eat a good dinner and
No,
like you
no.
have liquid diet until
yeah,
you
you
can
gotta
actually hold shit down.
pace yourself.
Gradually
slowly,
go
back into that.
gradually, yeah.
That's
Good
crazy.
answer.
So it's thought, I think this is a question that y'all asked, that Dr., in air quotes, Hazzard definitely killed at least 20 patients.
20 fucking patients.
Well, I shouldn't say she killed. They died under her care.
She killed him.
She killed them. But some people say they think it's up to 100.
I was so curious. I knew it had to be a lot.
Yeah.
Like
So
I was thinking.
I feel like she let some get cured so that her method could show the world, you know,
That
maybe
it works.
maybe like after 10 weeks of
start
drinking
sneaking
some.
them some Kit Kats.
Well,
and
no, she's like
some
after
meat.
10
yeah,
weeks.
get you a ribeye. Hurry up.
After 10 weeks of drinking tomato juice and they, you know, lost 30 pounds, she's like, you are cured. Be on your way, Mary sir. I don't know. Mary lady.
So out of all of that, she only got 2 to 3 years in prison,
and then got out and started
doing it again.
a whole new thing and giving abortions and building her dream sanitarium. And yeah, she's a piece of
Wild.
shit.
Wild.
So
or, as we like to say, a pizza chip. Okay.
A pizza chip. I got to tell y'all, I watched on YouTube this. I think this lady has like 2 million followers and it's great. She's a mortician. It's her channel is called Ask a Mortician, but she did a whole story about this, and that story was titled "The Doctor, the Mortician, and the Murderer."
Of course.
Because some people think that the Butterworth Funeral Home was like in cahoots with Dr. Hazard.
Oh, they were
fuck
being the
out.
Uber.
They were, yeah.
Uber.
They were like, she would get the.
They were bringing them to the dock, and then when it didn't work out, guess who got to practice embalming?
Yeah. Also, they would overcharge for what a funeral would normally cost.
Well,
So they were making tons of money too.
Yeah, she had to get her.
that must have
commission.
became a practice as well.
That funeral home is still there today. Not run by the family of the Butterworths,
outta here.
but it's still there today.
I'll
It's
be
a
damned.
yeah, it's run by like some conglomerate corporation.
200 years old.
Yeah. Also went to Inforum, not Foreign, Inforum.com, SmithsonianMagazine.com, Stevens Historical Institute. Lots of info on this. I could have gone on and on. Like, I literally tried to give y'all the, 1 hour version or
The
whatever.
gist.
Yes. But she's a fucking coont.
That's a very good story.
Thank you.
How many
Yeah.
fucks you have to give, Tammy?
I have 0 fucks to give. Okay, so now this is obviously her mugshot. I don't know if it's a good pic. There are younger pictures of her that I saw online that she was very beautiful.
She looks 50-ish. Oh, no, 60.
Well, I don't know.
Well, she died at 70 and
Right, she looks
38,
60-ish, I
so
think.
She just looks kind of homely to me, but I don't think she presented herself
she
that
had
way.
to be in her 50s when she got arrested. If it was in 1911. right?
Okay.
Well, yeah,
Thi-
a
Plus
mugshot.
20,
Yeah, so
yeah.
50, yeah.
Now, I hope this comes out. This was the best picture I could find. This is Dora
Oh,
right before she got off the island. And I don't know if this is going to show up or not. But she's very skeletal. She's very emaciated. She's got a big dress on because they wore
Yeah.
that shit back then.
Right.
But here, I'm going to pass it to you. Her face You can see how sunken in her face is, how tiny her body frame is.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. I couldn't see it on the screen.
No.
Of course, I'm blind too. But now I can.
I don't know if you're
I'm gonna pass it to Hannah.
Make it a paper airplane and send it to me. Come on.
I don't think
you
that's...
You got it. It's fine. I'll look at it later. I just want to see you try.
Okay. No, don't rip up.
I'm not.
Don't rip up all my
It's
cord
fine.
management.
It's okay.
All right.
okay.
So I have a little couple funny things. Stupid criminals. You see her, Hannah? Oh, she made a face.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That
She's
looks
not
like
in
a
good
Halloween
shape.
decoration.
It kind of does.
That could hang from a tree.
Throw a little spider web on her on the front porch.
No,
and
she
kids
looks like
will be
your little
shitting
witch
themselves.
that goes in
back
the-
and forth in the rocking chair.
Yeah, that's her. That's her. Right there.
Okay, here we go. Couple little short, funny things to
Here we
end this hellacious story on. Graham Prince of South Wales ripped off the bank where he worked, but he wasn't completely duplicitous. He left a note in the safe that said, "Borrowed £7 million, signed Graham Price." I mean,
I'm paying you back, okay? Give me the weekend.
it's just an
Give me
IOU.
the weekend.
I'm going gambling. I'm going to double my money.
I feel like he did that so he wouldn't be like, well, I didn't. I mean, I told you.
Yeah, I didn't steal it.
I didn't
okay?
steal it. I told you I borrowed it. I even said my name so you knew who it was.
That's right. Now find me.
I might have told y'all this one before, or at least on the pod. A Target store in Augusta, Georgia, agreed to take back a printer. Did I tell this one?
No,
already?
no.
Okay, they agreed to take back a printer from a dissatisfied customer. The clerk noticed some work the customer left in, like, the printer
Oh, no.
that they forgot to remove it, and it was counterfeit bills that he was trying to
Wait,
print off of his printer.
On an HP, like an HP Epson printer or something.
Yeah. It wasn't even what are those fancy ones called now?
That sounds
Shit.
like something.
Sublimation.
Police-
It wasn't even a sublimation printer.
That
What?
sounds like who? The LSU? Oh, Billy Cannon.
Oh, did he do that? Oh, the dentist.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Wait, what happened?
Oh,
He printed counterfeit $1 bills.
I don't.
think.
I don't remember, but he was a ex LSU football player.
He
Like,
won the
Cannon?
Heisman Trophy.
Yes.
Billy Cannon.
Halloween night, Billy Cannon.
right.
Absolutely.
So he became a dentist.
Oh my god.
And then he got caught printing
I've
making
never heard that.
Yes.
I
okay.
always hear Halloween night. That's all I know.
And I could be wrong, but I think it was dollar bills.
Well, that's at least
Dollar
suspecting.
bill, y'all.
But there's no way. Okay.
All right, this is the last
Okay.
one I got. Don't you hate it when you suffer a heart attack and think you're going to die, so you confess to a 17-year-old murder? Only to find out you're not going to die and then get sentenced to life in prison because you confessed to the murder.
Oh my god.
James Washington of Nashville did exactly that.
That's awesome.
It was just gas.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Right. You were just having a panic attack.
Your arm just fell asleep. You're fine.
Okay. Oh my God. I appreciate you.
That-
I appreciate you, Greg. No one can see you, but I appreciate you.
We appreciate you too, Greg.
And we're going to give the folks Patreon/grits if you'd like to support the show. And that will help us continue to have Greg here, helping us
Correct.
do camera switching. It will also help us pay the bills.
Pay the bill.
And
bills.
if you're
Bottom
liking this
line.
look that
Yes.
I'm sporting today,
Where should they
click to
go?
thesideofmurder.com.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
We have everything
Little
there.
bucket hat with a little.
Yeah.
It's really comfortable, and I got a big head, so
Hey.
I don't know why you call it a bucket hat. That's a Gilligan hat.
it looks like a.
It's
a
technically
bucket
called a
hat.
bucket. The style is a bucket hat.
Okay, it's a Gilligan hat.
That's fine. If it were red, would it be a Gilligan hat?
Fuck. Tammy?
Who's Gilligan?
I love that. That's where I was going.
Is that where it was going?
I know Gilligan's Island. The plane.
That's
This is my favorite podcast.
the plane, boss. The plane.
That's it,
On a
right?
3-hour tour.
No, that's Fantasy Island, sweetheart.
Oh, dang. Is that in Hawaii?
Oh,
Fantasy
my God.
Island is its own island somewhere.
I've never
it's-
seen
it's
either.
facetious.
I've never seen any other islands.
Fantasy and then Gilligan's Island. Okay, so
A 3-hour tour.
A
The plane.
It was a good guess. I really was
That's
not sure.
awesome.
Y'all,
funny.
I would either laugh or be impressed. Either way, it's fine.
we're doing more pods, okay?
Yes, Hannah, he is requesting your presence at the next time.
I know. I found out yesterday he actually likes me.
I know. I heard him say
Bullshit.
Yeah,
I
he-
never said that.
He said, blah, 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 or I won't like you anymore.
you
And I
fucker.
said, so that means you like me now.
That was the Kelsey.
Okay. I appreciate y'all all. I love all of our listeners. I would love for all the people who can to go to Patreon. And hopefully this will actually fucking make it to YouTube.
Help Tammy. Help us. Help Tammy. Help us help Tammy. She does such a good job researching this stuff and delivering it to her guest. I mean,
And to,
y'all,
yeah.
she puts a lot of time and effort into this. She really does. I know she does. And
If
she
I could
delivers
only-
it to us.
If I could only remember to hit record when I deliver it.
I bet that don't happen again.
Yeah, you
Look,
never will.
if we got a little Patreon subscription, we could get you a big flashing light that says recording, and then we know.
Oh, that's a good idea.
No, like a sign, because
Okay.
apparently the one on the computer is not big enough. We'll get you a,
Yeah, but the big sign that's got the big red stripe recording.
Yes.
wait. You,
Y'all be
Thank you,
looking
Tammy.
because there's going to be more postings coming. I have someone that is helping me with some social media stuff.
Really?
So hopefully we'll keep you on your toes. We'll keep you entertained. Shoot me an email. Go to the website. Buy some merch. Go to Patreon. I think I've plugged everything I could plug.
I'm here to stay.
All right. We love y'all. We're going to let Zydeco Mike take us out.
Bye, Toyota.
Bye.